Hello people, this is WhiteTiger. This is my first attempt at narrating a Wi-Fi battle. This is really just a test to see what it's going to be like. I have had a few audio issues so far, such as the audio cutting just as I play the video. So if you have any advice on how to fix that, I don't think it's Audacity because I've been trying a few programs to see if it still does it. It's probably with my computer settings, but whenever I play a video, whether it's through my Windows Media Player or YouTube, it actually cuts the audio. So I'm not sure why that is, but I'll try and fix that as I go along. Other than that, if you can just put a comment below what you thought of this video, the audio quality, the narration and my voice, whether you think it's worth listening to at all. And yeah, so if you don't like the narration, I will try go back to the music, but depending on what the comments or what people tell me, I'll decide whether to keep trying to narrate and get better as I go along, hopefully, or I'll just carry on adding music. Anyway, for those of you who are still listening to my voice, I wouldn't be surprised if you've already left. This was just a fun battle with a friend of mine called Atrum, from a good chat I go on called WwpC, which is that chat. And we've had quite a few games now, and this was a game to test out his theme team that he's just made. So yeah, if I just start the battle now, I lead off with my Breeze, which is my my Frostlass, sorry, and he leads off with his Gengar. I go for the Ice Beam now. I don't really want to mess around with a Gengar because it can do a lot of things, and it's his special wall, so it's not going to do anything. I switch out into my Draco, and he goes for the Stealth Rock, expecting that obvious switch. Fair play on him, he knew Frostlass couldn't do anything. Now I expect his switch and go for my substitute. Most people expect this to be Scarf, which is the idea behind this thing, allowing me to get a free substitute on the switch. Now I go for the Stone Edge, and this is to just get quite a bit of damage on it. Earthquake and Outrage being my other moves. Earthquake's not going to do anything, and Outrage I don't want to lock myself into. He goes into Icy Wind to kill my sub. Pretty cool move to have on a Gengar. Didn't expect that at all, really. But yeah, that kills off my sub, and he goes into Bronzong, taking my second Stone Edge as I go into my Breeze. Now he leads up, sets up his Light Screen, and I'm scared he might switch out predicting it, but I just go for the trick, which is good because he stays in and goes for the Reflect. Now he goes into his Heatran, and I go for the Spikes, expecting the obvious switch because he's locked into Reflect, and now I'm expecting him to try to finish me off, which he does, and I go for the Destiny Bond. He goes for the Magna Storms. I do it twice there, expecting him to just stay in and kill me off anyway. Not expecting anything tricky. I think he just wants to get rid of this thing now, not letting me lay up more spikes, which he does, taking down his Heatran and my Breeze at the same time. Now it's a double switch in. I go on my Draco, pretty safe switch in, even without the Scarf. And I now go for the Stone Edge, which will kill off his Gengar he sent in. So yeah, his Reflect wears off, and he now goes into his Lucario. I'm still faster because this is actually a max speed Timid to make up for the lack of a Scarf, which will let it outspeed a lot of things, including his Lucario there, which I think was Adamant. Well, even so, it's got less base speed, so it's not going to do outspeed me. Now he goes into his Bronzong. I know it can't do anything, maybe set up the Reflect, but I'm expecting the explosion, so I go for the substitute to take the explosion, which he does, so that's brilliant because I only lost a quarter of my health. Now he goes into his Metagross. He goes for the Bullet Punch, hoping maybe to take me out, but I actually survive it, go for the Earthquake. And yeah, that takes him down to high red, and lets him get off the second Bullet Punch to kill me. Excuse me. And I now go into my Jet, and take the Bullet Punch there. Not going to do much, it's not very effective. And then I go for the Waterfall to finish him off. Now he goes into his Registeel now, and this thing is a bit of a problem for me because I really don't have anything left to take it out. Now that I let my Draco die, which was my solid counter to it, it's going to be a bit of a problem. So I go into my Atrum, which is the same name as my opponent here, my good friend, as I said in the introduction. And yeah, I just saying I want to see how much a payback would do. I know it's not very effective, and it does literally nothing. So he goes for the toxic, knowing that synchronize isn't going to work, it being steel type and everything. And yeah, so Atrum's not going to be much use to me now because it really hasn't got anything to hurt it. It has the toxic, but again it's steel type. So now I'm thinking, how can I take this thing out? So my actual best option at the moment is to go into my She, which is another awesome friend of mine from the same chat, and I go for the substitute here, knowing that he's going for the seismic toss, and with 404 HP I can get a sub, which takes 101 HP, and the seismic toss is 100, so I get the free sub, and it will survive it with 1 HP. And Leech Seed is why I switched in, so I can get some continuous damage on it, because I obviously couldn't set the toxic. And this is going to be the best way to take this thing out at the moment, because I don't have a solid killing move for it, because Special Wall and even the Earth Power, my Shaman isn't going to do much. So I now go into my Jet, which is my best physical attacker left, and he goes for the seismic toss, putting me down to 69 HP here. And after the Leech Seed I'm going to be able to take 2 more seismic tosses, and I go for the Brick Break, being my strongest move against him, super effective. As I thought, it's not going to do enough, and he just realises he's got the game. I'm not going to bother dealing with all this crappy store. I don't like the store, I don't blame him. And that's the game there. So that was an awesome game, Atrum. Very good team there. If you didn't notice, that was actually a mono team, a steel team, which was his theme. I think it was all steel except for his lead Gengar. So that was a very good game. I hope you enjoyed this battle now. Please comment below what you thought about the video, the battle, narration, audio, etc. And I would greatly appreciate that. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.